Look, if you disrespect life, then life will disrespect you. If you take life for granted, then life will take you for granted. If you waste life, life will waste you, okay? Courage is not optional, okay? Courage in itself implies that there are things that we should do that we don't have the courage to do, right? If you are not courageous, if you are not brave, then you are not living to your fullest. That's just a fact, okay? And if you are not willing to live your life, then your life is not gonna happen, okay? Life is waiting for you to go and live it. So many people just waste away in front of a screen, okay? They sit all day at their office, and then they come home, and then they sit in front of another screen. If you do that, you take life for granted, okay? You're not gonna live forever. One day you're gonna die, okay? And that day comes sooner than you think. And if you're the kind of person who keeps saying, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it tomorrow, then that tomorrow will never come. Because change can only happen in the present. And if you really want to do something, then there is no excuse to not do it right here and right now, okay? There never is. And there are no excuses in life. If you want something, then go and do it. And if you aren't brave enough, then it's simply not gonna happen. You can't live life without bravery. Because without bravery, there is no life. There is just monotony. There is just doing what you're told and doing what everybody else does. The very notion of bravery in itself implies that you need bravery in order to do as you truly want, right? Because bravery implies that there's something that you would do if you had the balls to do it. So you can't live without bravery. You can't live without courage. A life without courage is half a life. Or not even half a life. It's not even a life at all, okay? In the past 2 years of my life, I've done more than in the first 18. The first 18 years of my life, I went to school, I played video games, and that's about it. I was anxious, I was a coward, I didn't even want to be social, okay? There is so much shit that I missed out on because I just, felt it was safer and more comfortable to sit at home all day and play video games with my friends, okay? When I was 18, I started meditating and journaling, and I realized that, holy shit, I'm literally 18 now, and if I go by the average life expectancy of 82 years, then I'm already 20% done with my life, okay? It's already 20% over. The loading bar to death is 20% done, okay? And then it just fucking struck me how much of my life I've been wasting doing nothing. And then I said, fuck it. I'm gonna grow some balls and I'm gonna do stuff, even if I am afraid to do it, because the only other option is to keep wasting my fucking life, and I don't want to do that. So in the last 2 years, I went to the army for 4 months. I went to Nepal, trekked to Himalayas. I started getting really into yoga and meditation. I started actually doing music, which I've kind of wanted to for a long time. And I've already made 2 albums. Gotta get some more birch in this. By all means, I've witnessed more and accomplished more in the past 2 years of my life than I have in the first 18, okay? If I could choose to live the first 18 years of my life, or just these two, then I would definitely choose these two. Because they are just infinitely more enjoyable and more valuable to me than the first 18, okay? Life isn't measured by length. Life is measured by experience. Life is measured by what happens, okay? Most people want to live a long and healthy life, okay? Not that that's a bad thing, but you should look at the length of your life in terms of experience. How much do you do? How much do you experience? How much joy do you find? How much growth do you find? How much do you learn? Okay? And the one factor that defines your experience is courage. Because if you are courageous, you will naturally seek to use your life to its fullest. Because you won't be afraid of what might happen or what could go wrong. And you will naturally chase what truly means something to you. If you don't have courage, if you're a coward, then you're gonna sit at home all day and do nothing and distract yourself. And you're gonna cope with the fact that your life is boring by getting obsessed with other people on a screen, okay? Most people have a life that is so boring that when they go home, instead of living their own life, they turn on the TV and they look at other people, okay? That's just a fact. Most people pay more attention to the lives of celebrities or whatever, or even fictional movie characters than to their own life, okay? So many people are more obsessed with video game characters or whatever Marvel nonsense than they are with their own fucking life. You pay more attention to things on the screen than you do your own life. Because you are coping. My life is a movie, okay? I don't need a screen, okay? I do what I think is cool, period. There is no reason for me to be obsessed with what happens online because it could never be as cool as what I do here. And the reason for that is courage, okay? I do whatever the fuck I want and I find a way to make it happen. Most of my friends think I'm crazy, which, you know, by normal standards, I definitely am. Because by normal standards, not doing as you're just told and not just, you know, working a 9 to 5 and getting drunk on the weekends, that's crazy. That's weird, okay? And so yeah, I am fucking weird. You will not need distractions if your life is interesting enough, okay? The reason people need entertainment is because your life isn't entertaining enough. Think about that, okay? It's normal for people that you spend your free time being entertained. You spend your free time not living your own life because your life is too fucking boring. And that's just the norm. That's just what people do. And I want you to think about entertainment, okay? Entertainment. Entertainment. When you entertain yourself, you enter detainment. You stop living your life. You go into a mental prison where your life is on pause. You sacrifice your own life, your own time, to be entertained. Because deep down, you don't value your own life. You don't even care what happens in reality anymore. You care more about what happens on the fucking screen. Or maybe you don't, hopefully you don't. But chances are you do, because that's how most people function. Even for like porn, okay? Think about how messed up this is. Like, I've literally never watched porn because I just always thought it was fucking weird. You literally watch a video of two other people having sex, okay? You look at two other people having sex and you get off to that, okay? I just get off to my thoughts, honestly. Because I think it's such a disgusting idea that I would watch a video of two other people having sex. And that's once again people being obsessed with other, okay? Because your life is too boring. It goes that deep. It's so deep-rooted in the modern world that we don't prioritize ourselves, okay? And if you do prioritize yourself, you're seen as being narcissistic or egocentric or like whatever. People think it's a bad thing to be self-centered. And to some extent it is if it goes too deep. But most people, I mean, are they are certainly not selfless because they don't really live life for the sake of others. But we are selfless in the sense that we are told to repress ourselves, okay? We are told to keep ourselves down, keep ourselves in check. We are told to be modest, to be normal, not to act out or stand out, you know? What that basically means, that word, what modesty means is that you take yourself for granted. You put a limit on yourself, okay? You take what you could be and you squeeze it down and put it in a box. Because people want you in a box, okay? If someone wants the limited version of you, then they don't want the best for you. And if they don't want the best for you, then you shouldn't be with them. Period. When people come to me, they come for the full fucking version. The deluxe edition, okay? They don't come for the limited edition, okay? And if they want the limited edition, then I tell them to fuck off. Because I'm whole. And I'm not gonna put myself in a box or sugarcoat myself to please other people. There are 8 billion people in this world, okay? I'm sure that no matter how weird you are, or how strange or out of line you are, there will be people who love your true self. Of course there are. There are 8 billion fucking people. Now, if you just take those 4, 8, 20 friends that you stumble upon in your life, in school or at work, your colleagues or whatnot, and now you think this is all there is, and I gotta please them. I gotta make sure they like me. I gotta make sure they love me. I gotta hold on to them. There are 8 billion people, okay? So why are you holding on to people that don't like the true you, okay? It might sound a little messed up, but quite frankly, friends are replaceable, okay? Just because you've grown close to someone, even if it's because, I mean, sometimes you grow close to people because both of you have just been doing the same thing. I mean, that's most relationships today, quite frankly. Even most of my friends are just people that I met at school. They are not people that I am closely aligned with, who share my goals and ambitions, who share my interests, who have the same vibration, so to say. They're just people that I happen to meet, you know? It's happenstance, it's circumstance. And for most people, that's all they ever find. They just find themselves in a circumstance, and then they do everything they can to hold on. Because they fear change, okay? They fear maybe being alone for a while. while you find yourself, while you find your tribe, your right people. They fear what they are going to become because they've grown so attached to the limited version of themselves, okay? It's comfortable to just do what everybody else does and do what everybody else, wants you to do, and do what you've always done. There is a momentum to your past life that just keeps going and keeps dragging you along. And if you really want to change, you gotta swim against that current. And that can be tough, but you gotta do it. Because the only other option is to stay stuck doing what you're doing. And chances are, doing what you're doing doesn't make you happy. And even if it does, satisfy you, then it's not everything that it could be, right? Now, be honest. You can't sit down right now and say that you are living your dream, that life is everything that it could be. And if it's not, which it isn't, then what are you waiting for? Why would you settle? Why would you choose a life that isn't what you want when you could have everything you want, okay? It's probably because you, once again, want to be humble, you want to be modest. You think it's too much to ask for. But tell me, why would it be too much to ask for? You live in a world that has told you to keep yourself down and to not be your full self, to be limited, okay? Because that's what we all want in the Matrix. We want to be small. And when someone else tries to be big, to be powerful, to actually do something cool, then it threatens us, okay? Because we've all grown comfortable in modesty. We've all grown comfortable in being limited, okay? And now we want to be small because it feels comfortable. It feels right in a certain sense because we've grown attached to it. And when someone shows you that it's even possible to be a full person, it threatens them deep down, okay? Because you show them, when you live your life to its fullest, then you show them that they are wasting it, okay? That's the root of jealousy. Jealousy is what happens when someone knows they could do better, when there is something that they acknowledge that you have, that they want, but they don't have it. Jealousy is actually admiration in disguise, okay? The only difference between jealousy and admiration is that when you admire someone, you acknowledge that you could reach their level, okay? As an example, I admire J. Cole. I think he's a great artist. He was my original inspiration for getting into hip-hop. The reason I admire him is because I'm working towards that goal. Because I'm brave. I know I can reach that one day if I try hard enough. When you aren't brave, you will envy people because you insist on being stuck, okay? You see what they have and you want it, but you don't see a way to get it. So you envy them. If you knew how to get it, and if you were brave enough to go for it, then you would admire them naturally, because you know you can reach that same level, and then you will feel inspired. So when people are modest and convinced they need to be small, naturally they start to envy each other. And that's when you start to hate on success. That's when you start to hate people who do great things, because their greatness is an insult to your weakness, to your limited nature. And look, to wrap this up, If anyone wants you to be a lesser version of yourself, then they are not your true friend, okay? Anyone who truly loves you will want to see you grow, okay? They will love to see you change and become better. No one who truly loves you wants to keep you down, or keep you modest, or keep you normal. If someone truly likes you, truly loves you, then they are ready to see you get weird and take your true form, okay? To realize your true gift. And if you live in a world, in a matrix, that insists on keeping you small, so that you comply, so that you work your 9 to 5 and do as everybody else does, and make profit for the man up above, then that's a sick world. A world that wants people to be less than they are is a sick world. There is no reason that we can't all aspire to our greatest potential, okay? I mean, come on. Look at nature. There is not a single tree or bush or animal out here that isn't trying to be its best version and isn't trying to do its best for the world around it. Every single being here is giving it all, working 100%, okay? There is not a single tree that is thinking, oh no, I can't grow too tall because the others are going to start hating on me. There isn't a single bush here thinking, oh no, if my leaves get too big, the others are going to envy me. There isn't a single deer out here thinking, oh no, if my antlers grow too tall, then they are going to start hating, okay? Every single being in nature aspires to greatness, okay? And to not aspire to greatness is to take life for granted. If you aren't living to the fullest, then what are you doing? Do you want to live to, half of your potential? A third? A tenth? If you are not using something fully, then obviously you are not valuing it. If you do not aspire for greatness, then you are taking your own life for granted. Okay? And life is a fucking gift, bro. You came here as a human being. Do you know how fucking special that is? Everything else in existence runs on autopilot, okay? I mean, these trees are great, but all they do is grow. A tree can't make a choice in that way. A tree can't choose to be itself, okay? When a soul incarnates as a tree, then it just does tree stuff, you feel me? You came here as a fucking human. If you came here as a wolf, then you would just do wolf stuff, okay? You would hunt sheep and shag some lovely wolf bitches and have some nice children, okay? And that's it. But you came here as a human, okay? Being human means that you get to make choices, okay? You get to look inside and figure out, what am I? What do I want? Who am I truly? And what is my gift to the world? If you are not doing that, then you are taking what it means to be human for granted, okay? A human that doesn't meditate, that doesn't look inside, that doesn't realize themselves, that's like a bird that never learns to fly, okay? The fundamental human feature is that you have imagination. You have dreams, okay? You have your third eye and your crown chakra. Animals don't have that. You can have visions, you can have dreams, and you can manifest them. You can change reality, okay? No other species can do that. That's fundamentally human. If you don't learn how to do that, then you haven't learned how to be human. And that's a fact, okay? If you don't learn how to be human, then why not just be an animal? I'm dead serious, okay? And most people would quite frankly be happier if they were animals. If you were just a sheep, and you just had to eat grass and walk around and have some sex with the other sheep and make some sheep babies, and you didn't have to worry about your job and your boss and your relationships and this and that, then you would be happier, okay? You wouldn't be stressed out. You wouldn't be worried. You wouldn't live in fear. Most people would be happier if they were literally just sheep or mountain goats, okay? And the reason is, you came here as a human, but you're not living as a human. You're living a half a life. You are taking life for granted. If you live to the fullest, naturally, you will be so fucking happy. And you'll be happy on a level that is so profound that no other being could have that experience, okay? A sheep can love life, okay? They enjoy it. But you don't see sheep dancing. You don't see sheep singing, okay? Humans can be so happy that they just start, Humans can truly be ecstatic. We can be truly joyful. And we can make life more than it is, okay? Once again, no other species on planet Earth can do that, okay? That's a human feature, and it's so fucking unique. And for most of the time in the universe, that feature didn't exist, okay? What you have right here, okay, is so fucking precious. On a level that I can't explain. And if you don't use it to its fullest, then you are taking it for granted. And most people, they do just take it for granted. And the people who do take it for granted will convince you that you should do the same. Because if you didn't, and if you don't, and if you truly live to the fullest, then they will feel insecure and they will envy you. And they don't want to deal with those emotions. And once again, if people want you to be a lesser version of you, then they are not your fucking friends. They do not love you. If someone doesn't want to see you grow, then they are not your allies, they are your enemies, okay? If someone doesn't want to see you grow, then they are wishing for you to be less than you could be, okay? Now, sometimes people want you to be lesser out of love, okay? Maybe your parents want you to play safe and get an education because they truly love you, but in their eyes, love means keeping you safe, okay? They love you, but their love is rooted in fear. It's still love, though. But in that case, you still have to acknowledge that you can't play small, okay? You can't take this for granted, even if that's what your parents want or what your friends think you should do. Whatever you truly want, there is no excuse not to go get it, okay? There is no excuse. Either you live 100% or you didn't live to your fullest. And if you don't live to your fullest, then you took your life for granted. Not that we all don't do it, okay? I'm not saying that I live 100% yet. I'm getting there. I'm not saying that I haven't wasted a lot of my life, because I sure as hell fucking do. But we must make the effort and try our best, okay? And when we fall, then we rise back up and we try again. Because the only other option is to, just keep living that same day on repeat. Going to your same job, doing the same thing over and over again, getting home, playing the same games, watching the same shows, talking to the same people. The psychological definition of insanity is to do the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome, okay? And that's what modern people do. They live the same day on repeat, and they wonder why they are not happy. And each day they hope that today it will be different, and today they will be happy. And it never fucking changes. Don't do that. Please. For your own sake. Bless you.